Alright guys, TechCrobit back again today. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday so far, and today we're going to recap day one of the Toronto home series. Very good one, to be honest. A load of great matches that we're going to talk about in the coming minutes here, but kind of marred by this new glitch that's been uncovered in Modern Warfare. Kind of a throwback to Modern Warfare 2. Gonna have a look at exactly how this works in a couple of minutes time here. And now a lot of pros are saying that, well, given that professional players play this game day in, day out, I'm sure that someone must have uncovered this at some point in the past. I hadn't heard of it before today, that it was actually a possibility in this game, but I'm sure some of the pros must have been able to realize this was a thing, and therefore the question is raised: have pros been using this to cheat and, you know, figure out players' locations, you know, so far this season that no one's been aware of? Is there anything we can possibly do about this? Are like all the pros going to now abuse it given they know it's a thing? Yeah, many questions for you guys to answer in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you are new. Big thanks to midnight.com once again. Also big thanks to Cam for the fantastic scoreboards we are going to be going through in coming minutes. You can find his Twitter right here. Let's hop on then and look at how exactly this glitch works. So Slasher says, another glorious day of Modern Warfare where something new pops up. So which teams have been doing the Modern Warfare 2 start glitch the entire year? You know, Zero says, heard about it today, and you could say, I'm not shocked one bit. What is that? See on the sub, when you die, press start after getting killed. During the kill cam, you can see the minimap from the perspective of the other team. This allows you to see where everyone on the other team is and call them out. This is something that used to happen back in the day. I haven't seen this in a Call of Duty game for a while now because it's such an obvious thing that you wouldn't want to happen. Basically, when you're watching the kill cam, if you guys don't know or don't play too much Call of Duty, in any Call of Duty game, if you press the start button, so like to bring up the menu, basically, it will show the minimap, or well, the minimap in a much larger version, the map, you could say, and it will show where your teammates are, and it will show everything, and it's actually quite useful even when you're alive sometimes to bring that up and tell exactly where your teammates are on the map, when sometimes you might not be able to see them fully on the minimap, and maybe like you see a red dot off in the distance and you're not exactly sure where it is, you can just press the start button and then it will show the whole map and you can see exactly where that red dot is particularly being placed. However, when you get killed and when you're watching the kill cam of the start menu is glitched, of course, so that you can actually see the kill cam from the perspective of the other individual. Let me just play this clip for you guys on stream right here on screen. So this came out last night. We get this guy, you know, they're just testing it in a private match. This guy's playing like a 1v2. So he gets killed by the guy in the hill, and this guy's teammate who just killed him is rotating all the way through cave to the next hardpoint. You can see as he brings up the map right here, the guy in hill, you can see his arrow on the minimap, and then you can also see his teammate pushing through cave, as you can see right here. And as soon as the player that we were just watching the perspective of spawns in, everyone else disappears, right? So this is the glitch effectively as it is. This can give a hell of a lot of information, right? And it used to be a thing back in the day, you could see kind of things in kill cams and do something similar to this, as they're talking about Modern Warfare 2 right here. And yeah, Ake says, bro, in Modern Warfare 2 you deadass would stop calling out while your teammate died so they could let you know where their whole squad was. Teeps callouts were hilarious because it felt like a deep ass narrator voice telling you where to look at. Felt like campaign. Yo, it's too quiet, someone go get a kill cam. Remember purposely dying in demolition because you couldn't find a guy. Enemy kills you, watch the kill cam for 15 seconds. During kill cam you'd hit start button and essentially you see what would have been the person's minimap during him killing you, so you can call out his entire team. Thanks to Salvador for pointing this thread out to me. And then Tim says in reply to this, at Pharaoh, be honest brother Mo, because that awake unit, talking about awakening, has 99 awareness, no cap. And as Cheng then says, so essentially if good teams aren't agreeing to no kill cams, so like saying that like everyone will just press square and skip the kill cams in these tournaments, we can assume they have or are cheating and abusing the glitch. So who knows what you're meant to do about this. The ideal solution, right, is just to say kill cams aren't a thing and just have it like have kill cams disabled in the competitive setting. But I highly doubt, to be honest, that Infinity Ward will take any steps on this. Let's look at today's matches then. Game 1 was Atlanta FaZe Minnesota Rocker, and this started off with a great map number 1. I'll put it up on screen on Ramaza here, but you know, Minnesota Rocker really should have closed this one out. They had a pretty significant lead. FaZe managed to make the comeback and make it work. Simp just has an unbelievable map. He goes like 34-20 or something to that effect, and he just has a great series, as we will look at. And from there on, the Rocker didn't really look like they were able to bounce back. Definitely seemed to get in their heads a little bit, and FaZe certainly are a good team right now, and they seem to have improved quite significantly off the team that was somewhat struggling a few events ago and going to every single game 5, because they were in the Search and Destroy 6-1 on Gunrunner, and they closed it out as well in the domination. So yeah, 3-0 for Atlanta FaZe. Dominant performances in terms of the slaying right there, and they're looking very comfortable or very solid to get out of this group and guarantee themselves that top 2's placing for champs. This was how the series scoreboard looked. Simp with a 1.7, Abisi with a 1.3, and the rest of the guys basically didn't have to do anything at all. Salium chilling with a negative KD, but absolutely nothing got going on the side of the Minnesota Rocker, and FaZe comfortably move into round 2. Not looking good for the Rocker. Then again, they didn't have too much to play for anyway, and this win at least gives FaZe a good chance of solidifying that top 2 spot, depending on how things go the rest of the weekends. Game number 2 was the most exciting one though, because this was Florida Mutineers versus Dallas, a matchup which has been good the entire time they've played this season, but Florida start off very, very hot in this one indeed, and this was pretty surprising to me, given Dallas were off a 12-1 map count win last time they played last weekend. Here the Florida Mutineers have clearly looked at that series and come back absolutely swinging in this one, 250 to 127 in the map number 1. Then game 2 on OpTic, Awakening just has an absolute monster map, has like 14 kills or something in 7 rounds, goes 6-1 the favour of the Florida Mutineers, and it doesn't look good for Dallas at all. However, they catch their breath. I think like you could see Clayster on stream doing some like deep breathing exercises and stuff like that. They refocus and they come back absolutely swinging. They'd only done one reverse sweep so far this season. I think it was on London. Maybe it was actually at the London home series when it was at the Copper Box. But game 3, Hackney Yard, 159-154. Definitely looked like Florida Mutineers could have managed to close this out, but doesn't quite happen for them. And then we go to game 4. This was incredible because this is Mutineers playground, right? We've talked about Ramazza being such a good map for them in terms of the hard point, but this time Empire have an unbelievable 3rd, 4th and 5th. Like the rotations on the last few hills were absolutely impeccable, and yeah, they bring a massive comeback. Crimsix had a huge moment that I'm sure is playing up for you guys on stream right now. And then we go into a game 5 on St. Petrograd, and this was such a back and forth one. Like Dallas went up 3-1, Mutineers come back and it's 3-3, and then a couple of big rounds from the Dallas Empire, goes 5-4, and Dallas closing out in a 6-4 fashion. So they complete the reverse sweep on Mutineers. Once again, Mutineers going to a game 5 and struggling to get the job done in the end. They'll go down to losers to play the Minnesota Rocker, and Dallas move on to face, obviously hot right now, Atlanta FaZe. So that's going to be an exciting series, but yeah, very impressed by Dallas actually managing to win this series, because clearly, you know, coming into this weekend, I would say that Dallas were the best team in the game. Florida Mutineers were there and thereabouts, somewhere top 4, maybe 3rd best team, maybe 2nd best team, something in that vicinity. But yeah, the fact that Dallas able to bring the reverse sweep here and win the series in that fashion is impressive, because if you're going to be the best team in the game, sometimes you're going to get tested in a manner like this, and the fact that they were able to come out swinging and actually win the series was very impressive indeed. This was how the series scoreline, you know, wound up in the end. Honestly, the slaying from the Dallas Empire wasn't on top form, but they got the job done in very close fashion towards the end, because honestly, the first couple of maps were absolute blowouts. And as Clayster says, like, how in the world would anyone think I was actually throwing in this match? Because supposedly he was getting some comments about that, you know, just classic stuff really. And as Nameless says, Awakening awareness is insane. A guy is pre-aiming ghosts and getting kills through walls. Had to put a clip for you guys quickly on stream of him wallbanging Illy through P3. A little bit of a strange clip, but it's understandable maybe that his teammate called out that he was there, and I think he even wallbanged this spot later in the map as well, and it didn't come off. So I highly doubt he's like aimbotting or anything, but I did think it was kind of strange for Nameless to tweet this out given his ties with the CDL. Let's go into game 3. That was Seattle Surge versus the Chicago Huntsmen. This was a very interesting one, to be honest, and it went pretty much as expected. But game 1, I mean, this was just the Octane show, right? And the thing is with Octane is occasionally he's going to have this map where he just drops a 2.0 and there's not too much you can do about it if you're on the other team, if you are, you know, if Seattle Surge's rest of the guys are actually putting up some figures as well. So they take this one 250-201. Then we go game 2, and this was where it was really intense. Like Huntsman had a bit of an advantage early on, then it went down to the round 11, and Seattle all season long in their search and destroys have not been great in the round 11 fashion. Chicago closed this out in a 6-5, and that was the momentum they really needed to come back in the rest of the series. They take the domination pretty comfortably, which has been a good map for Seattle Surge for sure, this Hackney Yard domination. So impressive that Chicago were able to win this in a pretty comfortable fashion. And then it goes to the game 4, and yeah, well, St. Petrograd, it's a great map for the Chicago Huntsmen, to be honest, but Seattle Surge will have to play on clip for you guys on screen in a second. That being this one from well, Joe Seacott and the boys over at Infinity Ward. Envoy's head glitching this thing, and like, I don't understand. The two guys literally just spawn in, what is that, Octane and Panda. Proto gets taken down as well because he was already weak. So yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Envoy's just chilling there, gets an easy, like, you know, easy 5-kill spree, just absolutely mowing them down as they spawn in. You know, these spawns happen, but this was a particularly crazy one, given like he is literally in their line of sight. So yeah, couldn't really believe what I was seeing there. But Chicago closed this one out as most people expected. Octane with a 1.2, rest of the guys not with the best series. And Pristini and Scum, actually Pristini had a great map number 2, I think, Search and Destroy. when it mattered, and Scump having one of the best series he's had in quite a while. So that's certainly a good sign if you are a Chicago Huntsman fan. Let's talk about the final series being OGLA Ultra, and this was a massive one, right, in terms of seeding potential. OGLA pretty much needed to win 2 matches and get out of their group to you know, leapfrog Paris and go into that second seed. Toronto don't have the seeding advantage. They're 2-1 down against Paris this entire season. They lost a couple of times earlier on. Therefore, they basically need to win the entire thing to make anything work. However, they started on the right foot, go up 2-0 pretty quickly against OpTic Gaming Los Angeles. MattG was pretty comfortable, some great performances from Ultra. Cammy honestly has been so good for them this entire season. He has so many clutch moments when it matters and winning key gunfights. And then he goes into the game 2, and it was the Drazah versus Cammy show. Drazah has like 17 kills in this one, but matched by Cammy, and they closed it out 6-4. Drazah had a crazy round early on. Both of them were going back and forth. It was crazy stuff, but Toronto closed it out 6-4. But OGLA do recompose. They honestly nearly do a Dallas Empire. They take the game 3 here on the Hackney Yard domination in a relatively close fashion. This has been a good map for Toronto Ultra this entire season. And then it goes game 4 and they close it out once again. Great map from Hollow here, and Drazah was very solid as well. But then we go into game 5, and Ultra, honestly, their Search and Destroy this season has been good, but it hasn't been like a super crux for them. And I thought this weekend, given OGLA have had a bit more time to practice, their Search and Destroy might have been taken to another level and they might be able to compete more with some of these teams. But yet again, it's a 6-4 in favour of Ultra on this Petrograd. And yeah, the 2 Search and Destroy victories for Ultra coming in absolutely clutch for them, and they do move on. That makes a very interesting situation for our bracket right here. Let's look at the standings real quick for the series. Drazah with a 1.2, Hollow with a 1.0, Cammy with a 1.26, Matt, you know, obviously helped by the 2.0 KD that he had in that Search and Destroy. But let's look real quick, just before we look at the actual bracket, at the leaderboards for the day. I mean, just dominated by the Atlanta FaZe. Simp with a 1.7, Abizi with a 1.34, Cammy with a 1.26, and yeah, certainly impressive stuff from a lot of these guys. Scump getting on the scoreboard as well, and the Awakening, of course, as Nameless was talking about earlier. This is how it looks then. So Huntsman versus Ultra in the quarters, FaZe versus Empire in the other quarters, and then of course OpTic Gaming Los Angeles. If they lose this match to Seattle Surge, and then if they lose the next, or if they win that and then they lose the next match to either Ultra or Huntsman, and Toronto don't go on to win the tournament, then Paris will actually be safe in that top 8 position. And certainly there's still a lot to be played for out of the top teams for who's going to get that number 1 and number 2 seed. Intrigued to see how this develops today. Thanks for watching the video as always. Like if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you next time.